You know the prisoner's dilemma?
Yeah.
You're familiar with it? So
I don't know.
basically,
Takahashi knows that.
Takashi-san, do you know the prisoner's dilemma? Are you familiar with the prisoner's dilemma?
Maybe he doesn't know. Okay, so let's explain for him.
Okay, so prisoner's dilemma is basically two guys. They're being arrested, and they're going to be locked up in jail in separate cells. Then the police is going to question both of them, and basically what the scenario is that if I confess, right? If I confess, and then I will get a reduced sentence because I collaborated with the police, right? So in that case, I may get 3 years in the cell. Then my mate, the guy who I committed the crime with, will get 10 years in prison. So I get 3 years in prison, and the other guy will get 10 years in prison. Now, if I just shut up, and the other, my friend, my companion, also shuts up, they cannot prove anything. So in that case, we might both walk. So the prisoner's dilemma is that if you are in prison, and you need to decide, okay, what strategy am I going to follow? Am I going to confess, or am I going to shut up? The point here is that if I am going to shut up, and my friend, my accomplice, is actually going to tell what happened, then I might be in jail for 10 years, and he might be in jail for 3 years. But so the worst case scenario that could happen if I don't speak up is that I'd be in jail for 10 years. But if we both don't speak up, then actually we would both walk. But if I don't speak up and the other guy speaks, then I will be in prison for 10 years. So what will I do? If I will be able to communicate, if we would both be honest and open with each other, we could get the best shared deal. But if I don't play fair, if I basically betray my friend, then I at least avoid going to prison for 10 years. But that's the prisoner's dilemma. So what Uno-san is asking, usually people don't play fair, and they don't give their true interest. It would be in their best interest if they would actually play fair, and they would create enough trust, and long-term perspective that they are actually going to put their cards on the table and just simply look for the best deal. But just like the prisoner's dilemma, it could be actually that one side is trying to cheat the other in order to get extra advantage. So that is possible. It's more likely in a deal that is a one-off deal. But if deals are more longer term, I think you can be more certain that there will be both sides have an interest in actually collaborating.
Many cases, it's very difficult to explain their true interest. Okay, they are not recognized their true interest, so they try to ask you to reduce price, but actually their interest is much more than that. So it takes time to explain them. Each interest is not free.
Right.
But it take time.
Mm. Right. So the more time you have, the better capable you are in negotiating.
That's right.
So time is very, very important. If you are under time pressure, that is not a good situation to negotiate.
That's right.
Right. If your partner is good, if you have time on your side, that will dramatically increase your negotiation power.
Yeah, exactly. Just you explained, simply saying like what is position, what is interest is very easy to understand, but actual negotiation process is very hard to settle down the definition of their interest or our interest, right?
Right, because people are inclined to lie, are inclined to lowball, or will use all kinds of strategies against you. And when you're observing, these things are easier to observe than when you're actually engaging directly in a negotiation, because you're thinking about your side, you're thinking about the other side, and there's all kinds of also psychological manipulation going on. So that is. But when you're in the middle of the negotiation, it's very difficult to do, to separate the truth from the lies and the exaggerations and the manipulations. So this is a very complex game. That's why it is also highly recommended in negotiation to always bring an observer, somebody who can take a little bit more distance and see, okay, what's actually happening, and to look at, okay, who's playing who. So have basically almost an impartial observer on your side, who will look at the process and look at, okay, what are they trying to do? What kind of games are they playing? It's very likely that when you are in the middle of a negotiation, when you are actually negotiating yourself, that you will not have enough mind share and distance to the negotiation, that you can actually see what's happening, what kinds of tricks they are playing.
Many Japanese cases, their positions and interests are separated.
Right.
Separated, right?
They're not telling the truth, right?
Exactly. Actually, very heavy twine, but they do not have authority, or they do not recognize, but their position or their price and their interest is they are not connecting.
Right.
By the way, time goes by. I think today is we're going to finish, and next week you're going to continue this one.
Yes.
This one is okay. Just you explain, just a case example, what you thought. It looks understandable, but real world, this value is very difficult to judge each other, right? Right. This is not easy to settle.
Right.
Not easy.
But if you can entice people to actually tell the truth, and by creating an atmosphere where you build trust, then you will be able to get closer to the truth, because both sides know that if they are playing along with each other, if they can trust each other well enough, that they can be sure, like the two prisoners, that if they shut up, that they will get the best deal. If you get more and more trust between those two parties, you can get the best deal. You can actually create the most value for both sides. But that's why trust is so incredibly important in negotiation.
Exactly. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much for today. Takai, thank you very much for joining us. And we'll get together this Saturday. Okay?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
bye. Yeah. By the way.
Okay, have a good day.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, okay. Yeah, have a good day.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
All right.